Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So really awesome stuff. We have our Deathstroke in the DC universe. There's also like this Justice League team up to stand for this political cause. So I'm going to play this Justice League clip first. Then I'm going to play this audio interview with Joe Manganiello. It's just absolutely hilarious. It was recorded in 2013. So just keep in mind what's happening today because that was done before they made Batman v Superman. But here's that Justice League clip.
Hey, I'm Ben Affleck.
I'm Ray Fisher.
I'm Gal Gadot.
I'm Jason Momoa.
And I'm Ezra Miller. And as a gang of Earth defenders, we want to send a big shout out to the Asheti Shakoan and those who stand with them in opposing the Dakota Access Pipeline. To get involved with this movement, go to thesacredstonecamp.org. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the cool thing here, Joe Manganiello is like this huge comic book fan. He tells this hilarious story about how he stole like he was dirt poor like everybody is at a certain point in their life when he was really young. Then he became really famous, so he felt really bad about stealing all these comics from this store owner. So like after he'd become famous, he took back this giant box of stuff that he stole and was like, "Here you go, brah. Sorry for stealing all this stuff when I was younger." And the store owner was just like, I don't understand what's going on here. But it was really funny, and I'll let you know, like, he is a cool dude. Somebody who would feel so remorseful about something they did as a child and go back to try and make it right. Like, look, here's all this stuff that I stole from you. So he lives by code just like Deathstroke, only it's not like Joe Manganiello is walking around assassinating people on contract. So I'm going to play the audio from this interview here. It's actually really cool, just listening to him talk about his history with comic books. So here we go.
You were swiping comic books from your local comic book shop is what we found out on the TV show.
Yeah, just avid comic book reader, and I thought that, asking my dad for the money to buy all these comics for how fast I read them, that was never going to fly. So, and I just didn't even want to hear it. I didn't even want to see the face he was going to make when I asked him for more money to go buy books and comic books. So I just turned to crime. And at a very, very young age, started scoping comic book stores out and looking for the sight lines behind the register and then how to not be seen. And then I'd wear pants with like the elastic waistband, and so...
we should do a video recreation here.
How to steal comic books with Joe Manganiello.
Really thick frame glasses. We need some parachute pants with elastic band.
We should just have those anyway.
We should. They should bring them back.
I don't think we need them for that. We just have them.
We just have them.
But you had glasses, or you just put them on as a disguise?
No, I'm like blind. Like I wear contacts, and I'm without them. I am blind. Yeah, mine too. It'd be the reverse of Superman 2 when he wakes up for the first time as a normal person.
Yeah.
And then gets the shit kicked out of him at that biker bar or whatever.
The diner, really.
It was like a diner. It wasn't even like a biker bar. I'm like a Belichick.
That's what makes it so sad. Guys drinking at a diner.
Yeah.
They weren't drinking.
Was he drinking?
It was breakfast. Was it? Yeah, they were
They were truckers. They were probably somewhere in Alaska or Canada.
Shit beat out of him.
He really did, yeah. But then he went back. Let's see what that last scene should have been. Of course, it's Superman, so he's not going to... But he really should have just ripped that guy limb from limb and then just spread the guy's limbs all over the globe.
That would have been a much more interesting ending.
Yeah.
Just him in the back alley at the trash dumpster holding like an arm and a leg.
Yeah, exactly.
Covered in blood. Like, what did I... No.
What did I do?
That felt so good, know?
You've got to be in a superhero movie sooner or later.
Well,
I used to draw. I wanted to be a comic book artist when I was a kid. I drew compulsively, like almost like, okay, kid, like what the hell is wrong with you? And there were always pictures of these monsters ripping limbs off of human beings and entrails and, eating that. And, my father saw the pictures of these crazy monsters and the Stephen King books and thought, my kid's a fucking psycho. So he like hid all the books. And,
oh, wow.
And then I think that really led me to crime. So it was like, okay, let's go. Let's go steal some more and read them, So it was kind of like this secret, guerrilla thing I had going on for sci-fi and fantasy. And so when acting happened, I think in my mind, it was really about, you have a chance to play a superhero. Like, let's take the little kid and let's hit the gym really hard and try to look like that comic book, and then let's see what happens down the line.
The nerd drove the jock.
Kind of, yeah. It was like the nerdy kid was like, come on, man, we got to make this look right and go to drama school so when you can work with these great directors and do it right and not do a shitty superhero movie because there's nothing worse than shitty superhero movie. I mean, it's like literally there's nothing worse. I mean, my top 5 all-time worst movies are probably superhero movies gone bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it hurts me to watch them and makes me angry. And I never, I wanted to make good ones.
Have you ever thought about doing a comic book? Do you want to?
Yeah, there's one I grew up with. There's one when I went to return all those comic books that I stole.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so quickly,
14 years later.
Quickly tell that story, just in case people didn't see it on the TV show.
I robbed these stores, blind, like just without a thought, and anything I could get. And I remember, I remember pulling. I think I got the comics that are in the really valuable ones that are in back of.
Oh wow!
On the wall, like somehow I had those. Like I had like number 1s and number 2s of.
It was very good.
Yeah, I got good at it. And so 14 years later, they were still at my mom's house, and I was going through this period of like, let's try to be an adult and clean up all this stuff, and and so I found them in my mom's closet, and I called up the store, and they were still there, and I went and returned them to the owner, who was still at the store 14 years later. And like mall security came over, and we were talking about this on the Nerdist show. And so like mall security came over and was like, what's going on here? Because I had this huge big bag. It was gigantic. And it was all the the great stuff at that time. It was the Frank Miller Wolverine in Japan, and I had the Todd McFarlane Spider-Mans, like all of them. And I had like all the Punisher Sicilian saga, and I mean all that, like there's really kind of those golden age, like awesome Ghost Rider #2. It was just great stuff. And I went and returned them all, and the owner looked down and went, these are fucking old. And I went, I know, they're yours, they belong to you. And he went, what, are you fucking kidding me? I went, yeah. And he goes, okay, you're absolved. And like waved his hand. He goes, I go, okay. And the mall security guy looked at me and just like raised his eyebrows and shrugged. And I was like, all right, I'm out of here. And I said, oh, by the way, there's one comic I'm keeping. I'm going to give you the money for it. And I paid him for this one, and I kept it. Yeah. And that's the one that I want to make.
Do you not want to say what it is because you don't want anyone else to make it?
Yeah, and I don't want to say it yet.
Okay,
I don't think.
okay.
Archie, but there. Jughead.
You have been the best Jughead.
Yeah. No one's done it.
So really cool listening to him talk about what a super fan he is, how he'd like to do comics, how he'd like to be in a comic book movie. But they didn't say a whole bunch about the casting announcement. They just said that he's going to be Deathstroke in the DC Extended Universe. So primarily going to be a Batman movie character, but I'm expecting him to be teased in Justice League in a small way. Just because it's such a big movie, it makes sense that they would try to tag him in there somewhere. But whatever's going on in Justice League, it sounds like they've been retuning that movie big time since Batman v Superman. Jeff Johns just went on and did this big interview where he explained how they were dealing with some of the critical blowback, how they were addressing it, how they were trying to be hopeful, what the previous position of the studio was, the way that that's different now, how they've kind of sped up the fun stuff in the Justice League movie. They're like, well, we were going to get to this eventually, but since then, we've really sped it up. So they're getting to the good stuff just a little bit faster. But just to explain what this Justice League team-up promo is for, it's basically a call to action against the proposed Dakota Access Pipeline, which is an oil pipeline that's going to run across a bunch of states. So the worry is that because oil pipelines have a history of breaking, it poisons the earth, it causes lots of environmental damage. They want to prevent this. So that's what you're speaking out against. And if you're really interested in supporting this, you can go to the website that they list at the end of that. But that is a real world thing. It's just apropos, it's just appropriate that the Justice League is forming to save the earth in the movies. They're trying to save the earth in real life too. I think it's really cool they're trying to be proactive in real life. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about Joe Manganiello, Deathstroke? He was actually, in related DC news, David Ayer, who did Suicide Squad, directed a movie called Sabotage with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Joe Manganiello just happened to be in that. That movie also starred Shia LaBeouf. Fun story, David Ayer brought him in to meet for Suicide Squad, was like, hey, maybe Shia LaBeouf should be in Suicide Squad. But the studio, Warner Brothers, was like, look, this is a really big financial bet for us, and you're a great actor and all, but nah. Now that's paraphrasing Shia LaBeouf, like he's getting ready for this film festival, so he was just doing interviews saying, yeah, I went in to meet on Suicide Squad. They're like, you're a great actor, but you are just way too crazy for us. So you can just try to imagine what role Shia LaBeouf was going to play. Probably not the Joker, because the Joker's supposed to be crazy, so I don't think Warner Brothers would have blocked that casting had they wanted him for a crazier role. Maybe it was like Captain Boomerang or something like that. Who knows? However it went down, it's probably better that he was not in the movie. But if you guys didn't know, there's a new round of the DC giveaway that's going on now. I'm just giving a copy of the Flash Season 2 Blu-ray away. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. So what's going to happen next is they just posted the first behind the scenes image of Thanos on the set of Avengers Infinity War. And the funny thing is that Josh Brolin's mocap suit is purple, just like Thanos. It's perfect. It's going to be so much fun. So I'll do a video for that next because they've actually started to shoot that movie. They're doing that right now as we speak. While you guys wait for that to post, you can click here for my Flash Season 3 trailer video that I just posted, and you can click here to learn more about Savitar's backstory from the comics. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.